Hi guys, so today we heard about allegations against the now former leader of the DUP, Sir Jeffrey Donaldson. And as the day went on, the gravity of those allegations became more and more serious. However, I want to show you Ben Habib from Reform UK. He uploaded this response video which, how can I say, is unhinged. Ben seems convinced that perhaps the former leader of the DUP was possessed by demons or something, and if this could be used as a reason to undo the Windsor Framework. What the heck is this guy talking about?
I know I will not be alone in being both troubled and saddened by the news that's just broken about Sir Jeffrey Donaldson. But no matter what we might think personally, we must stick rigidly to the principle of innocent until proven guilty. We cannot jump to conclusions about Sir Jeffrey. However, there are three questions which urgently need answering as far as this deal that he did with Chris Heaton-Harris is concerned. First and foremost of these is, what was Sir Jeffrey's state of mind when he signed up to this deal? Because he must have known that the Irish border was not gone. How is it that he was able to judge it gone? Did his own personal predicament influence his judgment in a bad way? The second question that I have is for Rishi Sunak, Chris Heaton-Harris and the Tory party enforcers. How much of Sir Jeffrey's predicament were they aware of? How much did it play into their negotiations with Sir Jeffrey, if it played at all? Was Sir Jeffrey in any way prevailed upon in order to give in to the lie that the Irish Sea border would be removed by this deal? And then the third question I have is aimed at the DUP executive. They need to answer how they think Sir Jeffrey's mind was. They need to answer how it was that he promoted them into this deal and convinced them that the Irish Sea border was gone. And whether, now knowing what they know, that they need to revisit that judgment. In my view, the whole thing needs to be looked at again. There can be no basis on which that deal can now be sustained when its principal sponsor was clearly compromised at the time that the deal was done. Questions need to be answered about his state of mind, what the Tory party knew and how they used it, and how the DUP came to support that deal. These questions need urgent answering by the DUP and the government.
This is just insane. I've been trying to resist not responding to it throughout the video. I wanted to run its course. Now, just think about it for a moment. Okay, there have been allegations made against Sir Jeffrey Donaldson, the leader of the DUP. It seems some of those allegations are of a sexual nature, but this idea that he wasn't in his right mind when he signed up to rejoining the executive, that he convinced his party, look, we need to get back into government with or without Sinn Féin. We need to get back into government. This is damaging the union, it's damaging the party, it's splitting the DUP. We need to get back into the executive. We're not making any progress outside. We have to get back in. This is the reasoning behind, I believe, the reasoning behind Jeffrey Donaldson's change of tack. Because I've said it before, there's no benefit to the DUP staying outside the executive. They kept banging on about we need to get rid of the Northern Ireland Protocol, get rid of the protocol, but the Tories and the Labour Party backed it completely in the House of Commons. So the protocol and the Windsor Framework, its successor, that's backed by both parties, and it's going to be backed by the Labour Party when they get into power. What Ben Habib and Reform UK, along with his friends in the TUV, seem to be doing here is building up some sort of conspiracy that Jeffrey Donaldson was compromised in some way and leaned upon by maybe members of the DUP or members of Rishi Sunak's administration to just sign up to the Windsor Framework or to support it or just to get back into the executive. This is insane. I don't believe for a second any of this happened. If it did come out, it'd be pretty interesting. But I think there's a much more simple explanation. Jeffrey Donaldson likes the idea of evolution. He wanted the DUP to be in government. But he had a struggle within his own party. The hardliners in the party didn't want to go into government with Sinn Féin, so they looked around for an excuse. And of course, the Irish Sea border, the Northern Ireland Protocol, was their excuse. And they were able to rely on people like Liz Truss and Boris Johnson to go along with that. But with Rishi Sunak and his Windsor framework, they realised, look, the game is up. The longer we stay out, the more we're damaging the union and damaging our party. So we have to get back into the executive. That was my thinking. And I think that's what's happened with Jeffrey Donaldson predates the Windsor Framework and the Northern Ireland Protocol. This is something perhaps linked to the Orange Order. I don't know, but some of the rumours are that it's linked to the Orange Order. It's linked to potential sex crimes. We don't know yet, but we have to wait and see. But whatever Jeffrey Donaldson's state of mind, it's irrelevant to the reality on the ground. The DUP needed to get back into the executive, otherwise they were going to run out of road, because you can protest against something, but if it doesn't make any difference to the parties in power, those being the EU and the British government, then what's the point of it? But this back to Ben Habib here, but this is just insane. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.